is bright, crowds alive under the lights, speeding fast, hearts racing wild, chasing dreams like a child. Rubber burns, the tracks aflame, who will rise to win the fame? Friday night, the stakes are high, in the blink cars fly by. NASCAR dreams under the lights. Friday night, we live for the fight. Round and round, never slow down. Victory's the sweetest sound. Drivers push on every turn, feel the heat, feel the burn. Tires screech, racing so close, eyes sharp tight as a ghost. Adrenaline in every vein, under stars pushing through rain. Side by side, sparks in the night, every lap chasing the light. NASCAR dreams under the lights. Friday night, we live for the fight. Round and round, never slow down. Victory's the sweetest sound. NASCAR dreams under the lights. Friday night, we live for the fight. Round and round, never slow down. Victory's the sweetest sound. The sweetest sound.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready for another wild evening of racing action here with the MNT Cup Series. As these drivers get loaded into the sim, each and every single one of them looking for the win here this afternoon, who will put themselves into victory lane here in this one. This is going to be another good race, another fun one here this afternoon. A lot of laps, a lot of strategy, a lot of back and forth, and a lot of good elbows up racing out here on the speedway. This is a racetrack where it's very momentum based. It's a lot of back and forth, a lot of give and take, but we do see a lot of different multiple lines out there. We can see 2-3 wide out there on the speedway, and we're going to see these drivers try to extend the racetrack, try to make it go a little bit closer and closer to that outside fence where they can try to carry a lot of momentum, get a little extra side force off that outside wall, and see if they can find that extra little bit of speed. As drivers hopping out there onto the racetrack right now, their qualifying session underway, so they're jumping out there looking to lay down some good laps. We see Leroy Koblenz out there, Max Gamble in the tied number 51 on the speedway, Johnny Brung out there as well in the beautiful Michigan University ride, Justin Lewis in the JL Racing Machine. He's jumped up into the quick time here in qualifying. Braxton DeWeese there in the 08 ride, the beautiful Interstate Ford 08 machine in that third spot now. It's Clay Cantrell second quickest. The Sheriff ride there, the one of Gary Klein, fourth fastest, in the number 9 of Bradley King. Right now our top 5 here in this qualifying run. Matthew Wheeler, he's out there on the speedway looking good in the back row sim racing ride. Davey Matthews out there as well in the beautiful, looking like a Burger King looking ride out there. I don't know what that is, but that car is looking fresh, and My gosh, it's making me a little hungry out there, man. That thing is looking very, very golden with that beautiful burger on the side of it. The Super D Motorsports ride looking fresh out there on the speedway. Yusuf Ghali back out there as well. The 26, the Vans ride. The back at it again with the red and white Vans ride here this evening. So Yusuf Ghali out there on the speedway. We do see Michael Moquin out there as well. My boy Moquin out there onto the speedway. The 48 ride. The American Legion machine looking fast as always there on the speedway. We'll have to wait and see where he can get stacked up and ready to roll here in this feature event. Right now jumps into position number 4, so 4th quickest on the racetrack here for Michael Moquin. As we got about, what do we got here? We got 18, 19, 20, 26 drivers lined up here. 26 drivers ready to rock and roll. We do see the GR67 ride, a Luke Knupp with a silent K. Knupp. In the 67 ride, Yusuf Ghali currently 17th quickest out there on the racetrack. Matthew Wheeler currently in the 14th spot here in this time session as Luke Knupp. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Knupp. In the number 67, looking for a big run. We do see Daryl Rachter, Josh Small, Zach Roethlisberger, Ryan Huntley Jr., Zach Tebow, and Dale Miller still down pit side, yet to make their qualifying laps out there on the racetrack as Yusuf Ghali jumps up into position number 2. So Ghali finding a little extra speed there, and he will now start to the outside of the front row, unless if somebody else jumps out here in the next 10 seconds and can lay down a quicker lap time to move themselves forward here in the starting order this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys are just tuning in, please make sure you guys do us a favor. It's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton here on Peacemaker Gaming. Hit the like button for us. Hit that like button on the stream. Hit the share. Hit that follow and or subscribe button if you haven't yet already. As Justin says, I think it's pronounced like na-up, something like that. Na-up. I don't know. You never know until they let you know, you know? You never know until they let you know. We can say it probably 5 different ways or make silent letters or silent K in there somewhere. I don't know. But we'll go with not up. Okay. We'll try to keep that in the memory bank. I appreciate that, Mr. Justin Young, coming in, showing the big love here in this one as we're going to get ready to rock and roll. We're going to get ready to go to battle here in this one as the green flag about to fly here in just a few more moments to get things started here this evening with the always amazing MNT Cup Series. Yusuf Ghali will start there in position number 2 in the Vans number 26 ride. Down in the inside of row number 2 is the 88 of Clay Cantrell. As we're waiting for our pole sitter Justin Young to join the server, the JL Racing ride that'll start in that pole position, and our 4th place driver, the 08 of Braxton DeWeese, to hop out there onto the speedway. Starting in position number 5 in the 48, that is Michael Moquin. To his outside in the 1 ride, that is Kerry Klein. Starting in position number 7 in the 9, that is Bradley King. To his outside in the 10, that is Mark Miller. Starting in position number 9 in the inside or row number 5, that is Johnny Brugg. Into his outside in the 51, that is Max Gamble, rounding out our top 10. Starting in the 11th position, that is Hunter Kent. To his outside is the 45, the Sim Motion Machine of Leroy Koblenz. And then we see the 69 ride of Davey Matthews and Todd Merkel there in row number 7 on the speedway. Matthew Wheeler rounding out our top 15 with Curtis Miller there in the 16th position. Dwight Hibbs in the 52. He's going to start there in 17th, but already blinking quite a bit for the 52 ride. He's got Derek Catt there to his outside. Dave Mayberry there in position number 19. He's got Zach Roethlisberger there to his outside, starting there in the 20th position. Starting in the 21st spot is Luke Knapp. There in the number 67 ride. Then we also see Daryl Rachter as well. There's Rachter in that 09 ride. We see Brian Huntley Jr. back there as well in that 97, as I'm not sure what's going on here. Looks like Kerry Klein is fallen asleep at the wheel here, or taking an EOL, going to the back of the pack. We're already going to see the yellow flag. There we go. We are going to go here as the one ride does get fired off, so I'm not sure if Kerry Klein taking an EOL, letting everyone else go around him here, and he'll start at the rear of the field as Zach Tebow and Dale Miller both not making the call here to start this feature event. So we do have 24 drivers ready to go to battle here this evening. Another driver looking to go towards the rear here. I'm not sure what's going on. The lineup a little bit busted up. This driver trying to figure out where they need to be, where they need to go here for this initial start, so things a little busted up. But here at the front of the field, things are still looking good as the 7 ride of Justin Lewis, the Merkle Racing Engines JL Racing number 7 ride, will start here in that pole position. The Vans number 26, Yusuf Ghali, will start there to his outside with Clay Cantrell and Braxton DeWeese, our top 4. Michael Moquin will round out our top 5 here in this one as we'll get them ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to battle. As Justin Young says, go Brug, I don't know you, but you have a cool last name. Yep, that last pronunciation was right. Nup or Nup? Nup. I don't know. Maybe it's just Nup with no K. Or Nap. Maybe Nap. I don't know. There's a U in there, so I'm not sure. Maybe Nup, maybe? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what he says. We may have to pull him in here during one of our caution breaks and figure out how he pronounces that last name fully. As out in front, Justin Lewis going to get ready for the restart. Yusuf Ghali there to his outside. Braxton DeWeese, Clay Cantrell right there behind him, and the rest of the field ready to get rocking and rolling here from the beautiful Chicagoland Speedway. As we do have 100 laps of racing action on the docket here this evening for these drivers to go to battle, to get out and to see who can put themselves up and into victory lane. Now we've seen these races go 0 cautions, caution free. Do we see it again here this evening, or do we see a couple yellow flags early on in this race? Is down through the Go restart zone. We are going to go green flag racing here with the MNT Cup Series as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. Quickly, door to door, down in through quarter number 1 and out of quarter number 2. The 26 getting a little bit loose. Here comes a big run for our pole sitter, the 7 ride of Justin Lewis. Lewis looking to stay out in front, looking to keep that 26 right back there at bay as they still stay door to door, down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. They'll drag race back to the start finish line using the apron as the 7 machine. It's too close to call, but I do believe Yusuf Ghali will be our race leader down across the line. So Ghali will lead lap number 1, but Justin Lewis looking to try to get this pass done. Down on the bottom side, gets a great drive, quickly slides up in front of him and takes that top spot away. So Justin Lewis out in front, Ghali going to follow him right on through, down on the bottom side of the speedway here in position number 2. Clay Cantrell there in third with Michael Moquin up into position number 4 and looking for more, but already making moves is Johnny Brunk. Is Brunk up into position number 5 here on the speedway, already up 4 spots here on the racetrack for this number 28 ride. Braxton Louise trying to stay there in position number 6 after falling back a couple early spots, as here comes that 54 Hunter Kent. Kent already up 4 spots here himself in that 54 ride as Mark Miller, Kerry Klein there in 8th and 9th, and Davey Matthews rolling out our top 10 here on the speedway. Just barely going to be able to clear that number 01 of Matthew Wheeler, and then Luke Knapp there in position at number 12. Knapp there in that number 12 ride, rolling pretty strong, already up 9 positions here from the GR Toyota. That 67 ride there in the 12th position is Max Gamble, Bradley King, Dwight Hibbs rounding out our top 15 here on the racetrack. Dave Mayberry there in 16. Leroy Kolblitz, Todd Merkel, Curtis Miller all sliding back here a little bit, as then you see the number 6 ride is Zach Roethlisberger rounding out our top 20. Josh Small there in 21st. Brian Huntley Jr. working though to his outside in the Advent Health the Wicks ride. in the number 97 there in 22nd. They battle back there for the 21st position. Daryl Racker in the 09 there in 23rd with Derek Camp back there in the 24th position. Zach Tebow able to jump out there onto the racetrack. The Joe Rogan Experience number 32 hops out there onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, quite a ways behind the lead pack as he had to start from pit side. And Dale Miller, unfortunately, still down and on and behind pit lane here. So a tough break there for the number 8 of Dale Miller, who would love to get here racing, but unfortunately down pit road and not out here on the racetrack as of yet. We'll have to wait and see if he hops out here and tries to get some laps in. Unfortunately, he's going farther and farther behind here, and now already multiple laps down out there on the racetrack. Is down across the line. They will click off lap number 6. Lap number 7 will go up onto the board here. So we're closing in already on 10% of the way through this race. Justin Lewis has been out in front for pretty much all of them except for that first lap led by Yusuf Ghali. Ghali, though, staying right there with him on that back bumper. Now going to take a little look down low, see if he can get that run and maybe take that inside lane away from the JL Racing ride as Justin Lewis trying to stay out in front by Ghali. Clay Cantrell, the 48 of Michael Moquin. Braxton the Weeks, our top 5 all right there. He can throw a blanket over him. It's Johnny Brugg, Hunter Kent, Mark Miller, Kerry Klein, and Luke Knapp now up into position number 10 on the speedway. Battling here door-to-door for that 10th position with the 0-1 of Matthew Wheeler. Looks like Wheeler with the hindsight momentum will keep himself in position number 10, and Luke Knapp will go back to position number 11. Gamble right there. New looking paint scheme here for the Tide Downey number 51. Machine looking fresh out there on the speedway as he rolls there in 12th. D.D. Matthews in the Super D Motorsports number 69 ride. There in the 13th position. Bradley King and Dwight Hibbs are top 15, but out in front. This fight, man, these guys have been putting on a heck of a show. These riders, man, lined up nose to tail. No one really running away with this one yet. Everyone's still right there, stacked together. It's anybody's race. Anybody can try to make those moves, try to work themselves closer and closer to the front of the field. And you're starting to see that 54 ride of Hunter Kent push the subject here, trying to get this 54 ride up towards the front of the field. Took that inside lane away from Michael Moquin. Moquin had to use the outside lane here. A good run right now through that middle lane and able to hang on to position number 4, and now he's going to be looking for more, but here comes Brock down low. He's going to try his hand down low underneath that 48 run. Going to pull away from him on the front straightaway. Not going to use the apron though, so trying to take that shortcut around the inside of the speedway. Johnny Brugg just trying to work himself down low, trying to use that little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of muscle here to take that 4th spot away from Moquin and through on the racetrack. We continue to battle door to door. Moquin not giving up here. He's trying to keep that 48 ride in that 4th position. As then you see Clay Cantrell trying to take a peek underneath our 2nd place driver, the 26. Unfortunately could not make that move, and that's going to open up the door now for Moquin to try to slide up in front of that number 88, and the 28 going to poke his nose right into it as well. The 48, 28, 88, 3 wide down into corner number 1. A little contact there between Brooks and for the 88 of Clay Cantrell. Unfortunately, that shoved Cantrell up the racetrack almost into the outside fence and the roll out of that throttle. The loss of that momentum unfortunately slides him back now all the way into that 8th position on the speedway. A tough break right there for him as here comes that 67. Luke Knapp coming to the front of the field here. Knapp there in position number 6 now on the speedway. This 67 ride already up 15 positions, man. He's been on a march to the front of the field. Let's fuck out Matthew Wheeler getting very loose out of corner number 2, drifting it there through corner 1 and 2, somehow or another able to keep that car pointed in the right direction. Going to rejoin the field there. The 2 ride having to make an invasive maneuver there, trying to stay out of the 6th ride of Zach Roethlisberger. Good job by all these drivers, able to keep their cars pointed in the right direction. No caution flag. We stay clean and green. Unfortunately, though, for Matthew Wheeler, he lost about 10 positions right there with that slide down through 1 and 2. And he's I thought he was going to go around that time because he had a little help right there, but happy to catch that car once again through corner number 2. And the fighting and the fierceness back here a little deeper in the field is continuing to rage on, and at the front of the field, it continues to get better and better as well. As now we do see a pass for the race lead. The 26 of Yusuf Ghali going to slide up and take that top spot back away again here from that 7 machine of Justin Lewis. Lewis going to slide back to second, and here comes Johnny Brugg. Brugg working himself on that outside groove, looking to jump into position number 2 as he works to the outside of Justin Lewis. Here comes Mo Quinn. Here comes Braxton Luis. Another pair of drivers trying to battle here inside the top 5, trying to get their way to the front of the field, but they got to be careful as here comes some more speed right there behind him. That 67 rider, Luke Nupp, working himself to the front of the field. Nupp up 16 spots, now inside the top 5 as he works down low underneath that 28 rider, Johnny Brugg. Brugg trying to mount the challenge back around him here to hang on to that 5th position, trying to work back to the back bumper of Braxton Luis and Michael Moquin here on the Speedway. As out in front, Yusuf Ghali jumping out there. He's going to take this race lead and looking to try to run away with this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are enjoying this racing action here around the Speedway, here at Chicagoland Speedway with the MNT Cup Series, make sure you guys hit that like button as Lewis hard up into the outside fence for the 7 wide. Justin Lewis, major contact, caution flag for the first time here this evening. More drivers going around down the back straightaway. Everyone trying to get through there. Hard hit there for the 2 ride. It's the Merkel Racing Machine. And Todd Merkel slides in there. Heavy contact with the 1 machine. As it all starts here with this 7 ride of Justin Lewis. Looks like, I don't know if he gets a little help here, but gets loose through corner 1 and 2. And unfortunately, he's just going to lose control of this car. Watch this car snap around on him here. Right there. Sideways, trying to catch it. Get sideways again, trying to catch it again. And all of a sudden, this car just snaps up into the outside fence. Heavy contact there for that number 7 ride. And then you see Mo Quinn's going to go around over the nose of the 67 ride here as he's trying to keep himself out of trouble, trying to avoid that 7 ride. And that's just going to create more issues down the front straightaway. Watch these drivers as the 7 ride shoots up the track. They're all just going to kind of get tied together here, trying to avoid him. Now goes the 7, the 88 ride goes up into the outside fence to avoid the 48 ride, and then that's when we see a big T-bone right there. The 1 machine of, this is Kerry Klein, who's going to slide in here, man. This is a heavy hit right here into the side of the 88 right there. Heavy hit into him, and then Todd Merkel's going to come in with a big head of steam, and he's going to T-bone the side of the 1 ride. Heavy damage there for a lot of our contenders. We'll take a look here and take another shot at what happened here between a few of these contenders, man, as everyone just trying to carry as much momentum, obviously not getting onto the binders quick enough and not able to avoid some of these spun out race cars as the 2 ride out of corner number 2. He had a good run, sees the smoke up ahead, and goes down onto the apron and carries that momentum. Unfortunately, sees Mo Quinn, then slides back up the racetrack, and then Kerry Klein was just sitting there, and he comes in and absolutely clobbers that 1 ride. Heavy contact for a lot of these drivers battling here on the racetrack as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and are ready to go back to green flag racing in just a few more moments. Out in front after that pit stop, it is the 28 ride who is going to take the race lead. So Johnny Brugg now out in front. Michael Mo Quinn will jump back up into second. So I do believe Johnny Brugg, Mo Quinn did not come down pit side. I'm not sure if Hunter Kent did. Zach Tebow I don't think did, as Yusuf Ghali, who was our race leader, now being scored here in position number 5, as now we do see Johnny Brugg and Zach Tebow both come down pit side, so maybe try to run some different strategy there with their pit stops, giving up that track position, but trying to lead some laps to earn themselves those extra bonus points here this afternoon. Obviously the 32 right there, missing his pit stall, having to throw it in reverse. Gonna get that car filled with fuel. Still trying to get this car lined up. This is just going to hurt him a little bit more as everyone else is starting to get stacked up and ready to go back to green flag racing. The lights are off the official iRacing pace car, and with the lights turned off, that means we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. So the action is about to get underway here once again. These drivers getting ready to duke it out here as we saw about 15 laps of green flag racing before that caution flag. Now, not sure if that was just Justin Lewis getting loose and having that issue, or if potentially these tires start to fall away after that 10-15 laps, maybe using them up a little too early and making these cars an absolute handful, absolute nightmare out there on the racetrack. We'll have to wait and see how these drivers are going to play it out, how this is going to work out for them as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Excuse me there, Chad, as we get ready to go back to battle here in this one. Michael Mo Quinn out in front. Mo Quinn looking for Mo Money here at the front of the field and looking for a big run down through the Geico restart zone as he's back into the gas pedal. Hit in the 54, Hunter Kent, door down across the line. Here comes a big run for Yusuf Ghali. Ghali looking to try to take him 3 wide here in the front of the field. Braxton Deweese right there. He's trying the outside lane, trying to go 3-4 wide. Here at the front in the 26 will make it stick, but we go right back to the caution flag. So caution flag coming right back out here in this one. We will take another look at it as I do believe Max Gamble going to run into some issues here in the 51 where it looks like somebody in front of him, maybe Dave Mayberry or Davey Matthews right here. Looks like a little 3 wide. Davey Matthews in that beautiful burger car, the Super E Motorsports ride right here. Going to get some contact between him and Miller in the 10 ride. He comes up the racetrack right into the 51 of Max Gamble. Nowhere to go for Gamble there. Heavy damage for all 3 of those drivers. Let's take a look back here again. Take another look at it. It's just a big restart. Everyone trying to get everything they can. Unfortunately, some pretty good contact. And watch this 51 just get some contact there, then up the racetrack and hard into the lap there of that number 51, and then more contact as the 27 ride gets launched into the outside fence there as well. That's where we see Dave Mayberry run into his issues. Now, I'm not sure if Mayberry, he definitely had some out there, so I think he's trying to avoid the spun around 69 in the 51 ride there. He comes down the racetrack, but you see that car kind of loses control, comes down the speedway. He actually just overcorrects it, trying to keep that car from spinning out himself, and as he overcorrects it, it just shoots up the racetrack, just like we saw Justin Lewis do early in this one, and hard up into the outside fence there for the Blue Fox Racing ride as well there. Heavy damage, heavy contact there for all 3 of those drivers collected there in that one. So we'll stack them up again, we'll rack them up again, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Here is Chris Deweese. Mr. Deweese coming in, showing the love, says good evening race fans. Let's go 08 Braxton Deweese as he shared on Mr. Braxton out there on the speedway, currently in the Interstate Ford 08 machine in that 4th position, having himself a good day so far here at the Speedway. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys are tuning in, especially over there on the YouTube channel right now. We got 16 viewers watching right now over there on the YouTube channel. We only have 3 likes on the broadcast. It's absolutely free to do, helps us out a ton, and helps push the stream out to more and more viewers. So if you guys are watching and you're feeling courteous, man, if you guys are enjoying the racing action or want to see these drivers do well here this evening, smash that thumbs up on the broadcast, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one, as I do believe down across the line we are going to see the lights turn back off here on the official iRacing pace car. No, looks like we're going to get one more trip around. So one more trip around before we go back to battle, before we do get out here again with the always amazing MNT Cup Series. We're going to be right back here as we're going to get ready to put on a show for you. We're going to be right back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to get a quick listen in here to our MNT Cup Series song on the evening.
Engines roar, the night is bright, crowds alive under the lights, speeding fast, hearts racing wild, chasing dreams like a child. Rubber burns, the track's aflame, who will rise to win the fame? Friday night, the stakes are high, in the blink cars fly by. NASCAR dreams under the light. eyes sharp tight as a ghost. Adrenaline in every vein, under stars pushing through rain. Side by side, sparks in the night, every lap chasing the light. NASCAR dreams under the lights. Friday night, we live for the fight. Round and round, never slow down. Victory's the sweetest sound.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here from the beautiful Chicagoland Speedway. These drivers are ready to duke it out there, ready to go elbows up here once again on the racetrack. Hunter Kent out in front, down through the Geico restart zone. We'll see that green flag fly and quickly put that throttle down once again here at the front of the field. Yusuf Ghali in the 08 of Braxton Louise, door-to-door down into quarter number 1. The Vance machine will get the run here, looks to slide up in front of the 08 of Deweese, as Deweese will settle in there in position number 3, as we see a lot of broken upness here, a lot of drivers not getting the restarts they were hoping for right there, and unfortunately for a few of them, they're going to slide backwards as here comes Luke Nupp in that number 67 ride into position number 4 on the racetrack, now up 17 positions from where he started earlier on this evening. So started all the way back in 21st, now finds himself into position number 4 and looking for more as he's trying to close in and reel in that 08 right of Braxton Louise, Yusuf Ghali, and that 54 to Hunter Kent. As Kent there in the race lead, looking to take that fender tines, I can't read that, the 54 ride of Hunter Kent there in the front of the field, looking to try to open up a gap here and bring himself into victory lane here this evening. Ghali, though, trying to hunt him down with Deweese and Nupp back there behind him in position number 4 and looking for more as the Citizen Camaro number 10 ride jumps up into position number 5, moving Michael McQuinn now back into that 6th position. Zach Roethlisberger working himself up to the front of the field, as well as the Excite Batteries number 6 machine jumps into position number 7. He started all the way back in that 20th position as well. So Mr. Roethlisberger's been working himself up in through the field, through the traffic as well. Now finds himself up 13 spots on the speedway. The 52 of Dwayne Hibbs there in 8th with Matthew Wheeler there in 9th. Daryl Rachter up 15 spots. He's in the 10th position here on the speedways. Curtis Miller, Josh Small, Brian Huntley Jr., Derek Gatt, and the number 9 of Bradley King round out our top 15. Leroy Kovlich, Johnny Brock, Todd Merkel, Zach Tebow, Justin Lewis, Max Gamble, Davey Matthews, Dave Mayberry, Clay Cantrell, and Kerry Klein round out our 25-car field. You see some of these drivers with some pretty extensive damage on their lines, but we do see the 32 getting back out there onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, a couple of laps down for that 32. Zach Tebow, Justin Lewis back out there as well. Still some damage here on the JL Racing number 7 ride. Not the run he was hoping for after early contact into the outside fence. A heartbreaker there for Justin Lewis, but still battling here on the speedway, trying to get every single point he can. As Max Gamble, Davey Matthews, Dave Mayberry all still down pit side. We do see Kerry Klein rolling back out onto the racetrack as Clay Cantrell is looking his car back behind pit wall here. So a tough break for Clay Cantrell off the speedway. Is everyone having some issues here already in this race? A lot of drivers running into some issues, and a few of them down pit side for an extended period of time as Hunter Kent out in front leading the way here. Kent at the front of the field with Yusuf Ghali there in second, and Braxton Louise hanging on to position number 3. Mark Miller now into position number 4 and looking for more as that 67 ride of Luke Nupp slides back to position number 5 here on the speedway. The 6th ride in the 6th position. Zach Roethlisberger trying to hold off Matthew Wheeler. Daryl Rachter number 97, Brian Huntley Jr. and Michael McQuinn sliding all the way back now into that 10th position here. He's got that 52 right working down to his inside. As Dwight Hibbs looking to slide inside the top 10 and move McQuinn even farther back here in the field. Drivers sliding around here, a little contact deeper in the field as Hibbs and the 70 right of Curtis Miller come together there. Let's play that one back. Let's take a look at this one as it looked like the 52 getting very loose out of corner number 2 and unfortunately washes up the racetrack and right into the side of the 70 right. Watch this 52 right there. Hits the apron. This car just shoots up the racetrack. Now he's trying to avoid coming into the drivers to his outside and unfortunately see the 70 right and the 32, unfortunately having a little contact there as well, and there's a couple different incidences right there, and you see that 52 and 70 right hard together into that outside fence on the speedway, and I do believe the 70 right of Curtis Miller has taken his right down pit side here, so an unfortunate break for Curtis Miller. That will put him at least a lap, maybe multiple laps down as Zach Tebow has went around him here looking for hopefully a free pass on the speedway as Johnny Brugg right now is the last driver on the lead lap, currently scored in that 16th position. And Zach Tebow, the first car a lap down out there on the racetrack, hoping for another caution flag and hoping to try to get this car back onto the lead lap as he's currently in that free pass lucky dog position. Curtis Miller down pit side, Todd Merkel back down pit road. We do see Justin Lewis still out there looking to try to gain some positions. Davey Matthews back out there. Max Gamble rolling back out onto the racetrack as well, but still a lot of heavy right front damage there for that Tide 51 machine. Looks like he's going to take it right back down pit side as Gary Klein sliding in there again. Dave Mayberry off the speedway here as well, or actually still down there, but down on pit road, still getting this car repaired as Clay Cantrell off the speedway and Dale Miller off the track as well. It does look like Dave Mayberry trying to come back out here onto the racetrack. So the Blue Fox Racing ride going to come back out here. Multiple laps down, but looking to still have some more fun out there on the speedway as Braxton DeWeese is going to be our race leader as we see the caution flag coming back out here. So the caution flag going to come back as it looks like Leroy Colbland's going to run into some issues here. Into the number 45 ride is right there in front of him. That's McQuinn and the 52 of Hibbs getting together here in this one. It's Hibbs and the number 48 of Michael McQuinn going to come together a little farther forward. Let's take a look here and look and see as it does look like some beating and banging here. I'm not sure if looks like the 52 may have gave a shot or something here. There you go. You see the 48 ride getting loose out of corner number 2 right here. That car kicks out and that loss of momentum. The 52 ride, Hibbs comes in there, gives him a shot in the shorts. Unfortunately, this just gets that 48 ride more loose down the back straightaway. Unfortunately, slides back up into that 52 ride. Hibbs hard up into the outside fence, and you do see Leroy Kovlich trying to avoid him. He's just going to take that car right down into the infield grass here to avoid any additional contact there as well. But heavy damage for the 52 of Hibbs and a bit of damage there as well for the 48 of McQuinn, as that will put us back under our third caution flag of the day. As Justin Young says, come on, Brugg, you got this. Well, Brugg, he was at the front of the field, and I think right now just kind of rolling with a little bit of pitch strategy out there on the racetrack for that 28 ride. I think the first time he came down pit side, I think he went for fuel only, so maybe trying to use a little bit of different tire strategy here to his favor in this race to try to put himself, into a better position and potentially into a winning strategy out there on the racetrack. As he come back down pit side this time, he was already at the tail end of the lead lap, so no love lost there. Comes down pit road, gets some work done to this 28. Now we'll have to wait and see if he can march his way back up through the field and back up towards the front of the pack here as Michael McQuinn still down pit side, getting extensive work done to his number 48 ride. Dwight Hibbs down there getting repairs done to the 52. Curtis Miller, Justin Lewis coming back down pit side. Todd Merkel still down pit road. Davey Matthews coming back down pit lane. And that 32 is Zach Tebow also coming back down pit road as well. Zach Tebow was able to get that free pass, the lucky dog, to get back onto the lead lap there. So a good break for the 32 ride. Maybe not a good break for the rest of the field, as we'll have to wait and see if this Joe Rogan Experience 32 machine can work himself towards the front of the field. as Chris DeWeese says, let's keep her up front, buddy. Let's go 08 Braxton DeWeese. Chris DeWeese cheering on that number 08 ride, trying to hope for this interstate Ford ride to find his way into victory lane as Braxton DeWeese out in front leading the way. He was able to get around Yusuf Ghali, able to get around Hunter Kent there to jump into the race lead, and we'll have to wait and see if he can hang on to it and maybe put the 08 ride into victory lane here in this one. We are halfway in and halfway through our regular season, or through our season here. Season number 2 of the MNT Cup Series, quickly hitting that halfway marker. Seems like it was just yesterday that we got this series back up and underway, so it's already halfway through their 10-race schedule. We'll have to wait and see who can end up as our champion here in season number 2. Our regular season champion last year, unfortunately, not back for a second season, not back to try to contend for back-to-back championships to start out this series, so a good break for everyone else in the field, as that will mean a new champion here this year and for our second season of the MNT Cup Series. And it's only been getting bigger and better week after week after week, man. The talent and everything else of these drivers that hop out here onto the speedway, onto the racetrack, that battle it out and duke it out here with us. It has been quite a spectacle, man. We've seen a lot of great talented drivers battle in here throughout a lot of these races, and we tend to have, some races really good car counts, other races not as good, but we continue to see, that 20, 30 cars showing up, showing out, race after race after race, and putting on some great racing for us. So to show appreciation to all of our drivers and everything else, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button here on the broadcast, and make sure you jump into that comment section and cheer on your favorite drivers. We're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. We're going to crank it up here as we go back to Green Flag Racing. 60 laps left to go here for the MNT Cup Series as they go back to battle here this evening. on the racetrack here in this one. Caution flag coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Another yellow flag out there on the speedway. That will bring it close to our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up right there. We'll take a look back and see what brings out this yellow flag. As little contact here at the front of the field. I'm not sure who got tied up in this one. I do believe Daryl Rachter, one of those drivers right here in the heavy hit right there for him. And Brian Huntley Jr. with them there into that outside fence. A big hit and unfortunate break there for that 09 ride. So let's take another look at it here, but let's crank it down just ever so slightly and let's get a listen in here and let's take a look again at what happened between these two competitors out there on the speedways. That was some pretty heavy contact there up and into that outside fence. Now I do believe Rachter, one of those drivers that were up here battling, trying to work himself to the front of the field down the bottom side. Now they just get tight down here, the 09 and the 97. Now I'm not sure if it's net code or what may have happened, but 09 looks like he gets a little loose, comes off the bottom ever so slightly, and then a little net code right there to pull him up and around the nose of that 97 ride. Hard contact into the outside fence for the Lockard.IT machine as that 09 ride, tons of damage. They come together again down out at quarter number 4, and couple heavy hits right there for a pair of our contenders here this afternoon. Let's jump on board here with this number 09 right. See what we can see from the cockpit here as just trying to work himself down low, trying to join the top 5 here. Only a couple cars away, running in that 7th position, and that's how quickly it happens here. That motor, unfortunately, bottom and fall out of it there as well. That's going to extend a ton of damage there underneath the hood of this 09 ride. Tons of damage for the 97 ride as well. We'll get them ready to go back to battle. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing out here on the speedway, as at the front of the field, it's still Braxton DeWeese. DeWeese continuing to lead the way. He's been battling hard here with Yusuf Ghali, Hunter Ken, Luke Knapp, and Johnny Brunk, who's now back up inside the top 5. Michael Moquin there in 6th with Leroy Koblenz, Zach Roethlisberger, Zach Tebow, and Bradley King rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. As Justin Young says, let me double check this one. Justin Young says, I barely know anything about racing despite my family racing on iRacing and also in real life. So go big brain Brug, making smart choices, I think. Yeah, hey, you know what? Strategy is always one of those things that really gets played in the NASCAR side of things, whether it's in real life NASCAR or here on the simulator as well. When it comes to the strategy game, man, it can win or lose races in a heartbeat out there on the racetrack. If you can use that strategy, if you can use those big brain plays to try to advance your position on the racetrack, whether or not it's green flag pit stops and short pitting coming in before the rest of the drivers, and using those fresh tires to your advantage while they're on the old tires to try to work yourself forward, maybe leapfrog some of those drivers, and potentially using that strategy to pick up a win, or using the late race pit stop strategy as well, where during a green flag pit stop run, you come in pit side, after everyone else already has run a lot longer, where, yeah, you're giving up a lot of time, but when you come down pit side, you will have the freshest tires on the racetrack compared to everybody else. So there's a bunch of different strategies, a bunch of different things drivers can do, including, fuel mileage and tires and everything else. Tires obviously a big thing, especially on a racetrack like here at Chicagoland, but fuel mileage could be the play, where you see some of these drivers right now that are on the lead lap making their way down pit side, like Bradley King, like Derek Catt. Now, I'm not sure if they can make it to the full extent of another 50 laps without having to come down pit side. They may be able to make it that 50 lap run without having to make another pit stop, where the drivers that are still rolling out there on the speedway, they may not be able to. They may have to make a green flag pit stop if we see the next 50 laps go clean and green. Their hand may be forced to come down pit side, and maybe the 9 ride or the 21 can try to save some fuel and make it so they can extend it all the way to the finish. And if they can run some good laps while doing it, still being fast and carrying speed, and maybe it will put themselves into a winning position out there on the speedway. We'll have to wait and see how this strategy plays out, who's going to have that winning strategy here on the evening to put themselves into the winner's circle here this evening. as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go to battle here this afternoon as Braxton Deweese, Yusuf Ghali, 1 and 2 out here on the Speedway as down through the Geico restart zone. We go back to green flag racing here at the beautiful Chicagoland Speedway. We are halfway in and halfway to go here in this one. Halfway in, and 50 laps are off the board, 51 up on the board here. Braxton Deweese. This race was half the distance. Deweese would be our race winner, but this race, we still got lots of races to go here, so anything can happen. Anything is possible. We do see another quick caution flag coming right back out here as it looks like Kerry Klein in the 1 ride. Going to run into some issues here. That is the 69 ride there to his outside. I believe that is Davey Matthews in that 69 ride, and Davey, unfortunately, looks like he gets loose down the racetrack into the 1 ride as he goes up hard into the outside fence. The Sheriff Machine, the MNT Cup Series ride down onto the apron there, but between him and that 69 ride, the caution flag is going to fly, and it looks like heavy damage for both contenders again. Watch the 69 ride down the racetrack, bounce off that 1 ride, and hard up into that outside fence, man. That's a ton of damage here. That may be a night ender there for the Camaro of Davey Matthews in the Super D Motorsports ride, and unfortunately he's going to take that car right down pit side and look for the crew to go to work, trying to wrench away at it, try to get it fixed back up and maybe back out there. And what was already a tough night for that number 69 ride, going to get a little tougher now after that contact. So we will get them stacked up, racked up. We will get ready to go back to green flag racing here as another big restart coming for this 08 ride of Braxton Deweese. Deweese is going to have to try to hit his marks again, try to keep all these drivers back there at bay and keep them back there behind him here on this restart, as he's going to have Yusuf Ghali, Hunter Kent, Luke Knapp, Johnny Brunk, Zach Roethlisberger, Michael Moquin, Zach Tebow, Leroy Koblenz, Matthew Wheeler, our top 10 here on the Speedway, all trying to chase him down here in this one. Then we see the number 39, the Worth Machine of Josh Small, back here in 11th. Mark Miller there in 12th. Derek Catt, Bradley King there in 13th and 14th, and I believe King is the last driver on the lead lap. Dwight Hibbs, the first car a lap down here. Looks like he has gotten the free pass around the rest of the race leaders here, so he's going to get a lap back into that 52 ride, but you still see that heavy damage here, especially on that right front and the front end of this 52. That car is heavily damaged still out there on the Speedway, but not giving up and still staying out there, still rolling some laps, trying to have himself a half-decent day here and see if he can try to get some more of these lucky dogs, maybe pass some more of these drivers that run into issues and potentially, finish off with a half-decent run here to end the evening, even with that heavily damaged ride. He'll take his car down pit side. We also see a few more contenders head down pit road as well, as Justin Lewis in the 7 ride, the JL Racing Machine down pit road. We do see Todd Merkel still down pit side. Gary Klein going to come down looking for some more work there himself. Davey Matthews after that big wreck down in his pit box as the crew goes to work. The 70 ride of Curtis Miller, multiple laps down here on pit road, as well as the 51, the Tide ride of Max Gamble, multiple laps down here as well for the 51. But jumping back out there, looking at some fun, Dave Mayberry off the racetrack here. He's been down pit side for quite a little while in that Blue Fox Racing 27 ride. And then we do see Clay Cantrell and Dale Miller both already out of this race, and they've taken their cars behind pit wall and off of the Speedway. So we'll get them lined up and ready to go back to battle. The 08 Rhino Braxton Deweese at the front of the field, getting ready for another big restart, another big opportunity to try to get a launch and pull away from the rest of these drivers back here behind him. Can he get it done? Can he find the run that he needs to put the 08 Rhino up and in to victory lane? And now the other big question is going to be, again, can these drivers make it on fuel? Can they make it on tires? Do they have to come back down pit road maybe later in this race? Maybe it's just a little bit of a cat and mouse game here. Drivers at the front don't want to give up this track position, so they're hoping for everyone else to come down pit side with them. But we'll have to wait and see who's going to make the call, who's going to take their car down pit side potentially late in this race. to get those tires, to get that fuel, to get the opportunity to maybe work themselves into the winning strategy here this afternoon. And some of those drivers that we've seen will come down a little later than our race leaders, where you take a look here, our top 4 cars on the speedway all came down pit road last time on lap 18. Zach Roethlisberger, who runs there in 6th, he was down pit side on lap 47. Johnny Brugg in the 28 was down pit side on lap 37. Same with Michael McQuinn. Lap 47 for Zach Tebow. Lap 18 for Leroy Koblenz. 47 laps for Matthew Wheeler and Josh Small. 49 laps for Derek Catt and Bradley King. So a lot of these drivers down pit road at different times, getting tires, getting fuel, getting what they need here to maybe finish off this night. But maybe right now they've got that better equipment, they got those better tires, they got that extra fuel in their car, where the drivers that came down pit road on lap 18, like Yusuf Ghali, like Braxton DeWeese, like the 54 and the 67 ride, can they hold them off and can they keep themselves here at the front of the field? We're about to find out, as here comes Johnny Brugg and Zach Roethlisberger right there on their back bumper, trying to push them down into quarter number 1 as DeWeese looking to try to hang on to this race lead. He pushes up the racetrack though. Unfortunately, that's going to give a big run to the outside lane for that number 26 of Yusuf Ghali. Ghali will jump back out in front, and here comes Luke Knapp trying to go right there with him as Knapp in that 67 ride. Excuse me, sorry chat, I don't know why I'm yawning, I'm not even tired. Knapp though in that 67 trying to slide up into position number 2 over Braxton DeWeese. But you look at some of those drivers that have that bit better, fresher tires out there on the racetrack, one of those being the 28 rider Johnny Brugg. Brugg trying to go 3 wide here, trying to jump up and put himself at the front of the field here, as he's going to work around that 67 ride up into 3rd. Now he's going to go after the 0A here, the Interstate Fords ride of Braxton DeWeese. As DeWeese trying to hang on to that 2nd spot here on the speedway now. The big question is going to be, as do drivers that have came down pit side, on that lap 37, lap 47, lap 49 even here, they came down pit side and around that midway point. Can they make it to the end? Do they need to come back down pit side, or are they going to choose to come down pit side? You can tell right here. Look at that move that the 28 rider was just able to make. Splits the middle, goes in between the 08 and the 26, jumps down low and takes this race lead away. So Johnny Brugg back out in front, now leading the way. So the strategy right now, as it plays out, is in favor for this 28 of Johnny Brugg. But we'll have to wait and see how long it'll take before, maybe his tires fall off. These faster cars back here behind him start chasing him down, putting the pressure back to his back bumper and everything else. There's so many good things that can happen and so many bad things that can happen out there on the racetrack in a heartbeat. And we'll have to wait and see is how this one all plays out. We'll have to wait and see how this one finishes off, as Johnny Brugg out in front of the field. Braxton DeWeese taking a look down low again on Yusuf Ghali, trying to slide up into position number 2 on the speedway. Mark Miller now working himself inside the top 5 as he works himself around the 6th ride of Mr. Zach Roethlisberger. I don't know why I keep yawning, chat. I don't mean to. I'm not even tired. What in the world's going on here? And the 10 ride, we're going to have to get a little bit of our knots into us here, chat. So what we're going to do, actually, we're going to jump into another very quick piece, make our gaming crank it up here, and I'm going to pound a Rockstar. I'm about to pull a Kurt Cobain and shotgun a Rockstar, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm going to take a quick drink break. I'm going to get some energy into me, and we're going to be right back here after this quick short message as we got 40 laps of racing action here this evening. Out in front is Johnny Brugg, who leads the way. Yusuf Ghali, Braxton DeWeese, Mark Miller, Zach Roethlisberger, Hunter Kent, Matthew Wheeler, Luke Knapp, and Zach Tebow, Michael McQuinn, our top 10 out there on the speedway, as we're going to crank it up here for the final time here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver. starting to get lane empty here on the speedway. Some drivers starting to come down pit side, including Yusuf Ghali, Braxton Doise, Hunter Kent, all down pit road here. So some different pit strategies starting to get played. We did see Luke Knupp already down on pit road on lap number 66 here. So as the Peacemaker Gaming crank it up, going to come to a close here. Drivers starting to work their way down pit side here. And this is going to be interesting to see if drivers that came down around lap number 37, like Johnny Brunk, can Brunk make it the rest of the way here on fuel? Or the cars that came down on lap 47, lap 49, like Bradley King or Derek Cat, or maybe someone like, Zach Roethlisberger, Matthew Wheeler, the number 10 rider, Mark Miller, Zach Tebow, all came down pit road on lap number 47. Can they make it to the finish line without having to come down pit side here again on the evening, or will they have to make that late race pit stop here? Can they save enough fuel, keep that fuel in their car to make it to the end here in this one? This is going to be interesting to see on who's going to have to, make these pit stops, who's going to have to come down pit road, and do we see any more caution flags as of right now? If a caution flag were to fly, unfortunately for Braxton Doise and a lot of these other competitors, they would be going a lap down here. Right now, Braxton Doise is in that free pass position, so he rolls out there in the 10th position right now, as he's in the 10th spot on the racetrack. He's looking good. He's looking strong out there on the racetrack, but he's a lap down out there on the speedway. He needs that caution flag for the lucky dog, or he needs this to cycle through where everyone in front of him does come down pit road themselves. Luke Knupp the same way here in that 67 ride. Needs that caution flag, trying to get himself back onto the lead lap, or Yusuf Ghali, as they're battling for what could be the race lead here if this cycles all the way through, or it could potentially just be for position or the lucky dog here if a caution flag were to come out here in this one. Hunter Kent a little farther back there in the 13th spot, with Leroy Koblenz in 14th. Justin Lewis multiple laps down here. He's battling in this fight here at the front of the field. Now this is a battle with a lot of our lead lap drivers that have yet to come down pit side. That's Zach Tebow working down to his inside in the beautiful Joe Rogan number 32 ride. But you see right there with them, the 0-1 of Matthew Wheeler, the 6th rider, Zach Roethlisberger, Mark Miller, Zach Tebow, Michael Moquin, the 39 of Josh Small, all right there. And then a little farther back, about 9 seconds back, you start to see some of these other drivers, like Bradley King, like that 21 of Derek Cat. Now, they've been a little bit slower on the racetrack, maybe trying to use a little bit more strategy in their game plan. So they were the last drivers out of our top 9 on the speedway right now to come down pit lane. They came down a couple laps later than what we see for, Wheeler, Roethlisberger, Tebow. They came down pit road around lap 47, so Bradley King and Derek Cat came down pit road on lap 49. Made sure they got their cars absolutely filled with fuel here before going back out there onto the racetrack. Now, they've been running off the pace, and looks like they're trying to save some fuel here. You even start to see the 6th ride of Zach Roethlisberger. He's starting to fall back here a little bit as well. Does Roethlisberger, is he trying to play a little bit of a strategy game here as well? Maybe trying to save that fuel in the 6th ride here, giving up some spots on the speedway, not trying to use that throttle as much as he possibly was. Trying to save this fuel, trying to maybe put this 6th ride into the winner's circle with that pit strategy. Trying to run a little bit longer, a little bit later here to save that fuel. As my boy Justin Young coming in as well, dropping the 50-star donation. Justin coming in, setting it off here in this one, dropping the 50-star dono over there on Facebook. Big love to you, brother, coming in, showing the love here in this one. Says, NASCAR fans be stingy. Show my man some love, coming in with the 50-star dono here in this one. As yeah, brother, unfortunately, I don't know if we have a huge following or huge fan base of NASCAR fans over there on Facebook. YouTube definitely seems to have a lot of very amazing followers and everything else, and a lot of amazing people that are part of the Peacemaker family, part of the Peacemaker NASCAR family here, as well as we have seen the 28 ride. Johnny Brunk did take his car down pit side here. He's trying to build up speed, trying to get back to the front of the field, as Johnny Brunk He's going to slide all the way back now to that 13th position, trying to build up that momentum, trying to get this car rolling here once again as he's had to take his car down pit side. Now here comes Michael McQuinn, slideways down through pit lane here. No caution flag on the racetrack, but that one's going to hurt Michael McQuinn. A lot of time given up there on the speedway for that number 48 machine, as Matthew Wheeler is going to consume this race lead. So Wheeler out in front of the field here. He leads the way. He was one of those drivers last down pit side on lap 47. So they were able to make it 10 more laps compared to the drivers like Michael McQuinn and Johnny Brunk, who came down pit road, who just came down pit road. Does that mean they got 10 more laps of fuel here? They came down pit side 10 laps later. Does that mean they're going to have their hands forced to come down pit road with about 7 laps left to go here in this race? And we do see our race leader getting passed by some of these drivers that have already made their way down pit side. You can see how much the tires are bigger here and how much these drivers are trying to save the fuel out there on the racetrack, as Matthew Wheeler there at the front of the field has just let the 08 of Braxton Deweese go by, the 26 of Yusuf Ghali go by, as we do see Zach Tebow has come down pit road, Mark Miller also down pit side, so a couple more of those drivers on lap number 47 that made that pit stop back down pit road here. So this is going to get interesting here, in the race may be on whether or not it's fuel strategy that'll put a driver into victory lane, or if it'll be this battle right here on the speedway. These are the other 2 drivers that have already made their way down pit side. Braxton Deweese, Yusuf Ghali came down on lap 72, same with Hunter Kent. Kent now scored in position number 8 on the speedway, but Braxton Deweese there in 6. If this cycles through, everyone in front of them, the other top 5, make their way down pit side, then Braxton Deweese will be our race leader. And even some of these drivers that have been trying to use some of this strategy, trying to save fuel to make it to the end, like Derek Cat. Cat's right here. He's about to get passed by the 08 ride of Braxton Deweese. So as Deweese goes around him here, obviously better tires, more fuel, he's able to roll that throttle without having to wait. He's going to go around that 21. So even if Derek Cat can make it now on fuel, he's not going to win this race, being there in what would be position number 2 if it cycles through. But a driver that's quite a ways in front of these guys in position number 4, who came down pit road on lap 49, he's back here in that 4th position. It's Bradley King. One of those cats trying to make this work. We'll have to wait and see how it does, as Matthew Wheeler still staying out on the speedway, continuing to lead the way. He's got 2.5 seconds between himself and Josh Small. Small has about half a second here between himself and our 6th place driver, Zach Roethlisberger. Bradley King, who rolls in the 4th position, he's about 11 seconds back of our race leader, but he's got about 16 seconds between himself and Braxton Deweese. Now Deweese is running about a second a lap quicker than that 9 ride, but if the 9 can make it on fuel here, and with only 12 laps left to go, he may not have time to catch that 9 ride. So if Bradley King did everything right, saved that fuel, able to carry a lot of speed here and have that gap between himself and the 08, the 26, and the rest of these drivers that have already came down pit side, he may put himself into victory lane. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out, chat. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. When we're going to see these drivers come down pit side, maybe a couple of them like Matthew Wheeler, Josh Small, Zach Roethlisberger, Bradley King, maybe trying to use this pit strategy to their advantages. Right now, there's only 8 drivers that are on the lead lap. If a caution flag were to come out, the top 4 would be able to come down pit side, put some fresh tires on their cars. Same with the rest of those drivers there inside our top 8. Our 9th place driver, Luke Knupp, would have to, unfortunately, get that free pass or pass the leader right now like he's trying to do. But if he gets the lucky dog, he'll be able to come back down pit side. He'll get that lap back for free. Everyone else behind him that would be trying to, use the wave around system would still line up behind our lead lap driver. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they can make it, or if we see that late race caution flag, as there goes that 32 ride of Zach Tebow around not only our race leader, but that 67 of Luke Knupp, as Knupp unfortunately still hasn't been able to get that lap back. So now we have 9 drivers on the lead lap, and if we see that caution flag and these drivers are able to come down pit road, it could potentially be their race to lose. They could have the freshest tires, they could have a extra set left behind pit wall here for late in this race, and you can tell how good the fresh tires are compared to the older tires, where now when things cycle through with a caution flag, Braxton DeWeese would probably stay out. He would be at the front of the field, but he's going to have like 20, 30 lap old tires. Same with Yusuf Ghali and Hunter Kent and a lot of these other drivers. So we'll have to wait and see how this one all plays out. Bradley King, though, still slow on the racetrack here. He's still rolling out there trying to save this fuel. He still has about 12 seconds between himself and Braxton DeWeese, but out in front, Matthew Wheeler still rolling on the speedway, not coming down pit road as of yet, with 8 laps left to go. So 8 laps left to go here in this one as the fuel strategy. Is it going to work out? Is it going to work out, chat? Let us know in the comments section right now. Do you guys think that this fuel strategy is going to play out in the favor of one of these 4 drivers yet to come down pit side? But I don't know. Here you go. 0-1 Matthew Wheeler. He makes the hard left-hand turn. He comes down pit side. So Wheeler could not wait any longer, and that was about 10 laps between himself and some of those other drivers that came down pit road on lap number 37. So he came down pit road on lap 47, made about 10 laps or so longer than they did. Now he's down pit lane, so I don't know, man. This is going to be interesting. The 39 ride, also one of those drivers that pitted on lap 47. He's still rolling out there on the speedway. He's not giving up. He's going to make another lap here at least. So it's still with 6 more laps left to go, this time by the start-finish line. It's going to be some nervous times here for these drivers, whether or not it's nervous for them trying to save it on fuel, trying to make it to the end of this race without coming back down pit side, or the drivers like Braxton DeWeese, who if this cycled through, if our other 3 drivers came down pit road, Braxton DeWeese would be our race leader. He would be at the front of the field and would be potentially taking this Interstate 408 ride into victory lane, as Yusuf Ghali trying to hunt him down. Zach Tebow would end up in that 3rd position with Hunter Kent, Derek Cat, Mark Miller, Luke Knupp rounding out our top 10. As here we go, Josh Small down pit side, the 39 ride, the Worth machine down pit road. Here himself is now being our race leader. It is the 6th ride of Zach Roethlisberger, and here comes Bradley King as well. So Bradley King is down pit side. This is starting to work in favor here for Braxton DeWeese, but Zach Roethlisberger on the racetrack has a 14-second lead. Can he use that to his advantage to save enough fuel to get to this end of this race and pick up the checker flag? Has Roethlisberger done everything right? Has he been saving this fuel? Can he coast here to what could be a big strategy win in that 6th round with only 4 laps left to go? 4 laps left here, and there's 13 seconds between himself and Braxton DeWeese. Now DeWeese is catching him in a quick hurry. Over a second a lap here. Him and Yusuf Ghali are chasing him down. Back there behind him, an even faster car in position number 4, looking for more here, is Zach Tebow. Tebow, unfortunately, is about 2 seconds back behind that 08 and the 26 machine. But everybody is chasing down Zach Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger now with only 3 more laps left to go. How does this play out? Who picks up the win? Who gets it done? Does Roethlisberger have enough left in the tank? Can he pick up the win? He was one of those drivers that came down pit road on lap 47. We saw him aggressively trying to save fuel, turning that car off, coasting it through the corners. If we hop on board with him right now, he's got this car rolling out there on the racetrack. He's not coming down pit side this time. So this next time by the start-finish line, we see 2 more laps left to go. He's bringing up to about 8,500, and they see them turn that car right off. Bring it down to basically no RPMs, trying to save that fuel. Middle of the corner after coasting, turns it back on, and now he's using that gas up again. He's starting to use that gas. He's rolling on the throttle, but he's getting very close. Now only going down the back straightaway at about 7,700 RPMs. Turns that car off. Coast again. Back on, builds that speed back up, trying to carry this momentum out at corner number 4. As out in front, it's Zach Roethlisberger, who will see that white flag fly. So the next lap will end it no matter what. But can Zach Roethlisberger make it here on fuel? He is inching around the racetrack as here comes Braxton DeWeese and the 26 of Yusuf Ghali. This could be the battle for the race win here if the 6th ride of Roethlisberger cannot get back down across the start-finish line. They battle each other up the racetrack into quarter number 2, but down through quarter number 3. Now to corner number 4. I'm not sure if he's going to make it there. He's rolling, though. The 6th run, Zach Roethlisberger playing this strategy perfectly, and he's going to pick up the win here at Chicagoland Speedway. Zach Roethlisberger getting it done is down across the line, beating and banging. It's Yusuf Ghali coming home in 2nd. Braxton DeWeese there in 3rd. Zach Tebow a few laps short of coming home inside the top 3 as they wreck each other down into quarter number 1. The 32 of Tebow there in 4th. Hunter Kent coming home in 5th. Mark Miller, Johnny Brugg, Leroy Koblenz, Josh Small, Derek Cat, our top 10 here on the Speedway. Cat with some pretty heavy damage there himself coming down across the line. Michael Moquin coming home in 11th. Matthew Wheeler there in 12th. Luke Knupp going to come home in position number 13 on the Speedway here in this one. But it's all Zach Roethlisberger here, able to coast it even back down the front straightaway here. We'll see if he can even do a burnout, if he's got enough fuel in the tank here. Does look like he saved a little extra there for a quick little bit of a burnout here. And Zach Roethlisberger picking up the win. You're in this one, man. What a wild run. What a wild race right down to the very end. And the pit strategy working out perfect. Last time down pit road, lap number 47. And just being able to save that fuel, have that track position, and able to bring this 6 ride into victory lane here this evening. We're going to get ready to pull Zach up and into the broadcast booth, man, after what was an absolutely amazing drive here late in this race. What a crazy turn of events here for Roethlisberger to pick up the win here this evening. We're going to pull him up here into the broadcast booth here this evening, man, as that was one wild ride for Mr. Roethlisberger. All right, we'll wait for them all to jump into the waiting room here. Maybe we'll be able to pull Zach in right now. Let's see if we can grab him. Hey, Zach, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Gotcha, sir. How we doing?
Not too bad, Zach, man. What a run, what a race. Take us through this one. Take us through the strategy late in this race to put yourself up and into victory lane.
Just fuel mileage, man. I started in the back there and, made my way up through, I think we got to the top 5 and we had that kind of that decision there in around lap 47 or so, I think, right like around halfway through the race. And I decided to come down. It might have been a little bit earlier than that, but I decided everybody was kind of showing they're coming down. I was like, you know what, I want to come down here and I'm going to put fuel on it and we might get another, caution. And, who knows, maybe we can make it to the end. And, I just got lucky there with the strategy and the way that the race played out. Right when I came down pit road, I'm like, yeah, the downside of this is the car's been so loose to drive and we've had a lot of cautions to where we might get another caution there and the strategy's dead. But yeah, it was, it made that decision and then we got a quick caution right away, saved as much as I could. And then that whole run there, I was clutching in the corners and just trying to save as much as I can and barely had enough to make it through. So just glad it worked out there.
Absolutely, as we saw you out there trying to roll that pit strategy. We saw some other drivers trying it there as well. Unfortunately for them, we started to see them come down pit side one by one. They start hitting pit road. We're getting a little bit nervous seeing some of those other drivers that were on pit road the same time as you, or some of them that were, a couple laps after you, making their way down pit lane here, where you're getting a little nervous there at the end, just trying to do all the calculations and think whether or not you got that fuel to get to the end and hoping to have that gap enough between yourself and Braxton DeWeese and Yusuf Ghali to be able to hold those guys off for the win here this evening.
Yeah, I just was watching my fuel black boxes as much as I could, and I was trying to kind of maintain a little bit of pace there at the beginning, and those guys kind of took off, and I'm like, I can't go this fast and make it if this is what we're gonna do. So I kind of just let those guys go, and then I just watched my black box like a hawk, and was trying to be cognizant of where Braxton and Yusuf were, because I didn't want to get, be too down on pace to where, they pitted and caught me anyway. So I had to kind of monitor where they were at, plus, monitor, my black box. So, yeah, it was just kind of that. And I was watching them and I was watching their pace, the guys that were on the same, strategy as I were, pitted on the same lap as I did. And I was just watching how fast they were going. And I'm like, they've got to run out here soon, because, I know I couldn't make myself go that fast and have enough fuel. So, Yeah, it was definitely a balance though. Watching the fuel box or the black box, watching how fast those guys were going, and then keeping an eye on Yusuf and Braxton and those guys as well to make sure that I wasn't giving up so much pace that they came and caught me on the back end.
Absolutely. Well, you're able to time things perfectly here, and you're able to keep your foot in the throttle as much as you possibly needed as you head down across the line here, picking up the checkered flag, or I should say, coasting across, picking up the checkered flag here as you pick up the win by almost 6 seconds here over Yusuf and Braxton here this evening, man. So you played your cards perfectly here in this one. Zach, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great strategy here this evening to put yourself up and into the Chicagoland Speedway victory lane?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the drivers for coming out. And I know we had a couple cautions there at the beginning, but I thought we had a good race overall. Thank you to to all those drivers that participate in the league and make it fun. I think we got a really good core group of drivers that um, that are really fast and really respectful. So that's always good to have that. Thank you to all the league admins for putting on the show. Clay Cantrell, Justin Bentley, Derek Cat, Mike Peters, everybody that helps do the things on the back end on the admin side. Thank you for doing the broadcast and giving us a platform to race. This is going to be a fun one for me to go back and watch and see what you were thinking as I was trying to play out that strategy. So that'll be fun to watch. And then thank you to Amir for doing race control as well. He's always on top of it and does his due diligence. So we appreciate him for sure.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Zach, a great run, a great drive here for you in this one as you pick up the Chicagoland Speedway victory here this evening in the MNT Cup Series. Now we're halfway through the season now. Race number 5 now into the history books here. We got 5 races left to go in season number 2. How you feeling about your odds, your chances here to maybe jump up there, battle with Justin Lewis and some of these other contenders for our championship here in our second season?
Yeah, I think we should be in a good spot here. I know we had a rough race at Michigan, and then actually my pedals weren't working last week at Rockingham, so had to miss that one, unfortunately. But I think other than that, we've finished in the top 3 or so. So should be in good shape. I know Yusuf is really fast. I'm hoping to get a battle with him here. Just on pace rather than this was a kind of a strategy win. I was you know I was up to those guys, early up or right before, I decided to come down pit road and I was hoping to get a battle with, some, himself and Braxton and some of those guys to where, we could settle it on pace rather than strategy. But, fortunately slash unfortunately, it went the strategy route and we played it the right way this time. So, we'll take it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Zach, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the great race. And we can't wait to see you guys back in action next Friday. And hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth and maybe right back down there in Victory Lane.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Zach Roethlisberger. Zach picking up the win and pulling that 6 right up and into victory lane, man. What a run and what a performance there by Mr. Roethlisberger here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys enjoyed that show, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we're waiting for our second place driver to jump into the Discord. Now, I don't see Yusuf in here, so I can't really pull him in. So we're going to go over Yusuf here, and we're going to get ready to pull in our third place finisher. And this was a fight that came down to inches across the line, as it was a lot of good battling there. Those closing laps between Yusuf Gottlieb and Braxton Deweese. They went door to door, beating and banging across the line. Yusuf was able to snag the second spot away from Braxton, but Braxton coming home here in third has had to have had a pretty good night here and what was almost a win this evening. As Chris says, congrats to number 6. Great broadcast as always. I appreciate that, brother. Says, great race, great job, 08. Braxton Deweese. Yeah, Braxton with a great run here in this one. Johnny Brugg says, appreciate the support, Justin, but I did not make big brain move when I didn't double check that my tires was checked to change on the last stop. I threw my race away on that. Oh no, John, Mr. Brugg, what are you doing, brother? That's a tough one right there. That's a tough one right there. When you're trying to make a quick pit, you just want to do a splash of gas and go, and you forget to click those tires off, and it's too late, and all of a sudden you're sitting there getting all those tires and everything else, and that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Mister. That's a tough break. But I mean, hey, the car was looking good. The strategy at the start of the race was looking pretty good as well. Just, I don't know what if maybe you needed a caution flag there after those top 4 or 5 drivers started to come down pit side, when we kind of had, Braxton and Yusuf and Hunter and them kind of a lap down, stuck back there. Maybe potentially that could have helped. Maybe it worked out for you, but unfortunately, no late race caution flag here this evening. A couple early race caution flags to mix things up, but no late race yellow flag. As we're going to get ready to pull in our third place finisher here, is once again Yusuf Ghali not in the Discord here for us to pull in for his post-race interview. So we will pull in Braxton DeWeese, our second place finisher here this evening. Hey Braxton, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Braxton, man, a great run, a great race here for you, man. We saw you battling up at the front of the field all evening long. Had a very fast car, and what could have been potentially the battle for the win between you and Yusuf Ghali. Obviously, you guys were really duking it out there for that second spot, but unfortunately for you, that pit strategy from Zach Roethlisberger pays off for him as he pulls himself up into victory lane after hitting his mark, saving that fuel, and getting the dump here this evening. But you guys were right there hoping that he was going to run out of fuel or have to make his way down pit side late in this race, where you guys could duke it out for the win here in this one, where it came down to inches across the line as you guys were right there, fender to fender, beating and banging down the front straightaway.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely had a pretty good race and a pretty good car. I felt like we had a pretty good strategy going there with everybody else pitting, and we were in front of Yosef there. We were starting to run the top there. I saw he started running there, so I was like, you know what? It's time for me to run up there as well, try to gain some time. So, it was kind of maintaining it. Then a lap car ran up there, and I ran low, and he was still able to run high, and I just had a terrible corner. And that's what got him real close to be able to honestly get around me. And, we had a pretty good race there. I didn't really expect him to send it up at the track in the one there, but, it is what it is. I mean, it could have been for the win, so I can definitely understand. We had been racing pretty good all race, so I kind of didn't expect that. That's kind of what I thought there, but it is what it is. I mean, I still had a shot in 3 and 4 to be able to come out in second, and I just honestly blew that corner. So, we had a hell of a race, so I got to give him props for that. And, he said he was going to pit, and I was like, you know what, I need to pit too. And I made it 3 wide going down to the bottom, and was able to beat him off pit road. So that was, I was pretty proud that we were able to execute that and whatnot. So, all in all, we had a pretty good race, and I shouldn't have hit him into one there. It kind of got us a little sideways. That was pretty stupid. But, like I said, we had a hell of a race between each other.
Absolutely a heck of a race there between you and Yusuf out there on the speedway, man. But it was a lot of fun watching you guys, battle and trying to hunt down some of these drivers that were trying to use that pit strategy, trying to stay out there a little bit longer, man. What was kind of going through your mind there throughout that, final stage after making that pit stop, and obviously picking these drivers off, chasing them down, getting yourself back onto the lead lap, and then trying to just wait and hope for these guys to either come down pit road or for you to roll around them. And then what was kind of going through your mind there in those couple final laps, knowing that Roethlisberger potentially had enough fuel to make it to the end, and you guys were still, a few seconds away from even being able to catch him here to battle for the race win here tonight?
Yeah, I definitely just was trying to make sure, we had to hit our marks, try to make the best laps that we had the entire race up to that point. But, like I said, I felt like we executed pretty good on the strategy and whatnot. Zach was just a super saver here tonight. So, I don't think I would have been able to save that much given the situation I was in. Granted, if I could have pitted and then, tried to save, then I still don't think I could have done that. I probably would have, got past or something, or even ran out of fuel. But big props to him for being able to do that, and pretty much making that pretty much the only one making that strategy work. So. It was a race win and one. He was the only one to make it work. So, pretty good job to him. And like I said, I felt like we did a pretty good job for what we had. And We still had a set of tires there for if there was a caution, so I felt pretty comfortable for that. Kind of, trying to set ourselves up in a comfortable situation. I felt like we did that. So, couldn't really ask for much other than for Zach to run out. But, it is what it is. He did a hell of a job, like I said.
Absolutely, man. A great job there by Mr. Roethlisberger, and a great job here by yourself all evening long as Braxton, you bring it home here, and what could have been a race win, but still a very solid top 3 performance here for you on the evening. Braxton, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong drive here this afternoon at Chicagoland Speedway?
Yeah, most definitely Interstate Ford on a car. I feel like we've been doing pretty well with them here recently, and in the leagues I'm in, so hopefully we can keep it up. We've gotten third in the past 3 days of racing, and in the day before, it was on I want to say Tuesday, we got 4th or something. So it's we've been doing pretty well. So we're doing it for Dale as well, and hopefully we can be a couple spots better, be in victory lane. And big shout out to Interstate Ford, Doug Minnendorf over there, as well as Paul Nichols. Big shout out to them guys. As well as Allen's Arts Images, Spinach Publical, James on Main, Deweese Renovations, Booth 34 Diecast, and Arrivals Photography, Blaze Designs, as well as Evan Pineda Designs, and Bully Dog Coffee Company. You can use Brax5 for 10% off over there and check out. And I appreciate everybody that tuned into the broadcast as well as my live stream. And it's going to be a pretty fun one to go back and watch. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Definitely a good one to watch as you guys duked it out here all evening long. A lot of elbows up racing, a lot of side-by-side action out there on the speedway. Braxton, congratulations on the 3rd place run here this evening. And as you said, a few 3rd place finishes in a row, maybe some momentum being built here off of those good finishes. And I'm sure without a doubt, throughout this season, the final 5 races here with the MNT Cup Series season number 2. Sure, one of these nights we may see you up here in victory lane.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully you have a great rest of your weekend, and hopefully we can be talking to you in the winner's circle next Friday.
Absolutely, brother. We look forward to it. Braxton, congrats again on the 3rd place run, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you as well.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Braxton Deweese, coming home there in position number 3. A great run and a great drive there for the number 08 ride here this evening, man. A lot of good battle and a lot of good fun out there on the speedway, and it comes down to a pit strategy call for Zach Roethlisberger that pays off huge here this evening for the 6th ride, and it puts him up into victory lane, man. That was a heck of a race, a heck of a call right there, and a heck of a bunch of good battles out there on the speedway. A little bit of caution flags early on to really spice things up, and then a good green flag run late in this race to make it that much funner here this evening. But I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in, showing the love, is my boy Craig Michael Deacon coming in, dropping that thumbs up on the broadcast. How are you, Craig? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Friday night. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't thank you guys enough for coming in, showing the love here all evening long. And can't wait to see you guys back in here tomorrow evening. We'll be back live again for the Premium Stock Car Racing League, where I believe the Xfinity cars will be back to battle there next week, and that's going to be another great show, a lot of fun as their playoff series gets underway, and hopefully you guys tune in and enjoy some more racing action here with us. But unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here this evening. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, any of our star senders, or any of the new followers, subscribers. I appreciate each and every single one of you. As my boy Josh Peacock, what in the world are we talking about here? Peacock coming in to finish off the night with a fucking bang. Peacock coming in with a 500-star dono. What in the are we talking about, Mr. Peacock? What in the world? Just coming in and out of left field, dropping the 500-star dono here in this one. Smashing that like on the stream as well, brother. I appreciate you coming in, showing the big love here in this one. Wowzers, did not see that one coming at this point of the night, this late in the evening, and getting ready to shut things down. And our boy coming in, just setting it off, man. I appreciate that, Josh. I appreciate you coming in, showing the big love here in this one, brother. Big hearts in the chat for Mr. Peacock here this afternoon, man. I appreciate that, Mr. coming in, showing the big love. As we're going to call it there on that note. I will be back in action tomorrow evening, so hopefully I see you guys all here, and, you know, maybe we'll get something going on in the mid-afternoon as well. Maybe we'll hop on and just do a couple random lobbies, a couple different random races, maybe throughout tomorrow afternoon before our broadcast at 9:30 tomorrow night. So we look forward to seeing everyone back in here, and we can't wait to see you guys back in the broadcast in the grandstands here on Peacemaker Gaming. And I'll see y'all later, baby. Peace out. Josh, my boy, big flexing coming in with the 500 stars. I appreciate that, brother. I love you coming in, showing the love here in this one. But peace out, y'all. Have yourselves a great rest of your Friday night.
Engines roar, the night is bright. Crowds alive under the lights. Speeding fast, hearts racing wild. Chasing dreams like a child. Rubber burns, the track's aflame. Who will rise to win the fame? Friday night, the stakes are high. In the blink, cars fly by. NASCAR dreams under the lights. Friday night, we live for the fight. Round and round, never slow down. Victory's the sweetest sound. Drivers push on every turn. Feel the heat, feel the burn. Tires screech, racing so close. Eyes sharp tight as a ghost. Adrenaline in every vein. Under stars pushing through rain. Side by side, sparks in the night. Every lap chasing the light.